Today, Zendaya is one of the most influential young stars in Hollywood. She stars in some of the biggest movies in the world, represents major global brands, and has long since grown far beyond the image of just another actress. But just a few years ago, she was simply another Disney star, one of many young performers dreaming of making it in the industry. So how did she manage to do what dozens of other child stars couldn't? How did a girl from a teenage TV show become an Emmy Award winner, a fashion icon, and one of the most sought-after actresses of her generation? This is the story of Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman. Long before the red carpets, magazine covers, and multi-million-dollar contracts, Zendaya was just a regular girl from Oakland, California. She was born on September 1, 1996, and grew up in a creative environment from a very young age. Her mother worked at the California Shakespeare Theater, so Zendaya spent a lot of time backstage watching rehearsals and learning how actors worked. As she got older, she began performing in theater productions, became passionate about dancing, and got her first experience in front of a camera through commercial work. By the time she reached her early teens, it was clear that performing wasn't just a hobby, and before long, that passion would lead her straight into the world of Disney. Zendaya was only 14 years old when she auditioned for a brand new Disney Channel series called Shake It Up. After several rounds of auditions, she landed the role of Rocky Blue, a talented dancer who dreamed of making it big.
That's how it starts. First energy drinks, that leads to harder stuff. Next thing you know, you're thrown off the show, you drop out of school, your mom kicks you out, and then you're living behind a dumpster, and everyone knows that you can't plug your cell phone into a rat's mouth.
For the young actress, it was the first truly major role of her career. When the show premiered in 2010, it quickly became one of Disney Channel's most popular series. And as the show's popularity grew, so did Zendaya's. People started recognizing her on the street, inviting her to interviews, and her name began appearing more and more often in teen magazines and on television. The success of Shake It Up opened up a whole new world for Zendaya. Before that, she was known mostly by friends, family, and people from the theater community. Now, her face was appearing on Disney Channel almost every day, and her popularity continued to grow with each new episode. But Zendaya had no intention of limiting herself to acting alone. Like many Disney stars of that era, she began exploring multiple paths at once. Alongside filming the show, she started pursuing music, recording songs for Disney, and appearing in more and more television projects. In 2013, she competed on Dancing with the Stars. At just 16 years old, she became one of the youngest contestants in the history of the show. Despite her age, Zendaya made it all the way to the finals and finished in second place, proving once again that her talents went far beyond acting. At that point, her career seemed to be following the exact path you'd expect from a successful Disney star. But then something unusual happened. When Disney offered Zendaya the lead role in a new series called KC Undercover, she didn't simply agree to whatever the studio wanted. For Disney, that was pretty unusual. Most young actors would accept almost any role just for the chance to stay on the channel and be part of Disney's massive audience. But Zendaya saw things differently. She didn't want to play another typical Disney character. She wanted her character to be smart, strong, and independent.
I can't believe you hit me. I'm just a little girl. A little girl who just girl stomped you, son.
More importantly, she wanted a voice in the creative process. She pushed to be involved in discussions about the show and eventually earned a producer credit on the series. For someone who wasn't even 20 years old yet, that was a bold move. Even back then, it was becoming clear that Zendaya saw her future differently than many other Disney stars. She didn't just want to appear in projects, she wanted to help shape them. Despite the success of KC Undercover, Zendaya knew that sooner or later she'd have to move beyond Disney. By that point, her career was going well, but Hollywood had already seen plenty of young stars who never managed to escape the Disney kid image. Zendaya had no intention of becoming one of them. Her first major step outside of Disney came when she joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Spider-Man: Homecoming. After a successful audition, she landed the role of Michelle, Peter Parker's quiet, mysterious classmate. But Marvel kept her character's true identity a secret. For almost the entire movie, audiences had no idea who Zendaya was actually playing. it wasn't until the very last scene that everything finally clicked.
Thank you. My friends call me MJ.
I thought you didn't have any friends.
I didn't.
Joining the Marvel franchise meant becoming part of a long-term story and one of the biggest movie franchises in the world. For a young actress, it was a huge step forward. Just a few months later, Zendaya landed a role in The Greatest Showman. She performed the unforgettable Rewrite the Stars and shared the screen with stars like Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. For a young actress taking her first steps into big-screen films, it was an incredible opportunity. Then came Euphoria. When Zendaya first read the script, the role couldn't have been more different from anything she'd done before. The girl millions of people knew from Disney Channel, singing, dancing, and starring in family-friendly shows, was now about to play Rue Bennett, a teenager struggling with drug addiction and serious mental health issues. For a lot of people, it was a surprising choice. But sometimes, it's roles like these that truly show what an actor is capable of. Series creator Sam Levinson later said that after meeting Zendaya, he knew almost immediately she was the right person to play Rue. He was impressed by her maturity and by how seriously she approached the character. To prepare for the role, Zendaya researched real stories of people living with addiction, worked with the show's consultants, and did everything she could to understand Rue's emotional world. And you know what? It actually worked.
I know a lot of you probably hate me right now, and I get it. If I could be a different person, I promise you, I would.
When Euphoria premiered, audiences saw a completely different side of Zendaya. She didn't just portray Rue's fear, pain, and struggles. She made the character feel completely real. After Euphoria, people no longer saw Zendaya as just another former Disney star. By then, she had fully broken away from her teenage image and proved that she was capable of so much more. Her performance received widespread praise from both critics and audiences. Not long after, she won her first Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. At the time, Zendaya became the youngest actress ever to win that award. That same year, Spider-Man: Far From Home hit theaters. Just as many fans expected after the first movie, Zendaya's role became much bigger. If Michelle had remained a mystery in the first film, this time audiences got to know her much better, and her relationship with Peter Parker became one of the movie's central storylines.
I'm just gonna tell you. MJ,
I'm Spider-Man.
What?
That's what you were gonna say, that you're Spider-Man.
No. I'm not Spider-Man.
For Zendaya, it was another chance to explore the character on a much deeper level. By now, it was clear that Marvel was investing heavily in her, and that her journey in the Spider-Man universe was only just getting started. By this point, Zendaya was known for much more than just her acting. More and more people were talking about her red carpet appearances, movie premieres, and major fashion events. Almost every public appearance became a trending topic on social media, while photos of her outfits spread across the internet and filled the pages of fashion magazines. A big part of that success came down to her longtime stylist, Law Roach. He helped create the image that millions of people around the world now instantly associate with Zendaya. Instead of following trends, the two of them were creating them. Every appearance felt like an event, and some of her outfits generated just as much attention as the movies she starred in. Before long, Zendaya had become one of the biggest names in modern fashion. Her name wasn't just appearing in movie headlines anymore. It was everywhere, from Vogue and Harper's Bazaar to the biggest fashion publications in the world. As her career kept growing, so did the public's interest in her personal life. After years of rumors and speculation, Zendaya's relationship with Tom Holland, her Spider-Man co-star, was finally confirmed. For many fans, it wasn't much of a surprise. People had noticed their chemistry ever since they started filming together, and both of them had always spoken warmly about each other in interviews. Since then, Zendaya and Tom have become one of Hollywood's most talked-about couples. At the same time, they've managed to keep most of their relationship away from the spotlight. By the mid-2020s, Zendaya had achieved what many actors spend their entire careers chasing. She had successfully left her Disney image behind, earned the respect of critics, become part of some of the biggest film franchises in the world, and established herself as one of the most influential figures in modern pop culture. And somehow, She managed to do all of that while avoiding the kind of scandals that so often follow Hollywood stars. But 2021 wasn't just about her growing popularity. It also became one of the busiest years of her career. One of the first major releases was Malcolm and Marie, an intimate black and white drama filmed during the COVID pandemic. Unlike Spider-Man or other blockbuster films, this story relied almost entirely on dialogue, emotion, and raw performances.
Because I was 20 years old and had never been loved the way you loved me or thought you loved me, I didn't realize what I was to you. A fucking movie. A tragedy. One that you could continue watching for as long as you were there for me. And tonight, in that fucking audience, I watched the whole shit play out, so don't pretend like it was a selfless fucking act, Malcolm.
For nearly the entire movie, the screen belonged to just two actors, Zendaya and John David Washington. The story follows a young couple returning home after a movie premiere. What starts as an ordinary evening slowly turns into an intense conversation about love, success, jealousy, and the cracks in their relationship. For Zendaya, it was another opportunity to prove just how versatile she could be and once again step far beyond the roles audiences had come to expect from her. But an even bigger project was just around the corner. Dune, Denis Villeneuve's epic adaptation of Frank Herbert's legendary novel. Despite being heavily featured in the marketing campaign, Zendaya appeared on screen for only about 7 minutes. Many fans were surprised. Some even joked that she had more screen time in the trailers than in the actual movie. But looking back now, it seems Zendaya knew exactly what she was signing up for. Just like with Spider-Man, she had joined a long-term franchise and knew her character's biggest moments were still ahead. In hindsight, it looks less like a small role and more like an investment in the future. And as it turned out, it was absolutely the right decision. But 2021 still had one more massive surprise waiting. At the end of the year, Spider-Man: No Way Home hit theaters and became the highest-grossing film of the entire Spider-Man trilogy. Marvel pulled off something fans had been dreaming about for years. They brought together multiple generations of Spider-Man characters into one movie. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Willem Dafoe, and several other legendary actors all returned to the franchise. With a cast like that, it would have been easy for Zendaya's character to fade into the background, but that never happened.
Prove it.
Prove what?
That you're Peter Parker.
I don't carry an ID with me, you know, it kind of defeats the whole anonymous superhero thing.
By now, Michelle Jones had become an essential part of Peter Parker's story, and Zendaya's role was bigger than ever. Even with so many iconic characters sharing the screen, she remained one of the emotional anchors of the entire film. In 2022, Zendaya returned as Rue Bennett for the second season of Euphoria. By then, the series had become one of the most talked about shows in the world, and anticipation for the new season was enormous. Season 2 was every bit as successful as the first, and once again, Zendaya's performance earned widespread praise from both critics and audiences.
Because if not, then Mom is 0 for fucking 2, and that means that it might actually just be her fucking fault. Bruce. Yeah, that means maybe she actually fucked up.
Okay, that's
Being
enough.
fucking
Rue.
honest.
That's enough.
Don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking touch me. You want to hit me? Shut the
Do it.
fuck up.
Hit me.
I know you want to get the fuck off of me.
Don't you fucking touch her!
Get out. Get the fuck out of here.
Not long after, she won her second Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. After the incredibly busy years of 2021 and 2022, Zendaya slowed down a bit. She spent much of 2023 working on future projects, while Hollywood itself was hit by the massive writers' and actors' strikes that delayed countless productions across the industry. Then came 2024. Dune. Part 2 finally arrived, giving Zendaya's character far more screen time and making Chani one of the story's central figures. If she had only appeared briefly in the first film, this time she became one of its emotional driving forces.
These are the filters that needs to be changed every 3 days. What? Stop looking at me like that.
Looking back, it became obvious that joining the franchise years earlier had been exactly the right move. That same year, Zendaya starred in Challengers. She wasn't just the lead actress, she also served as one of the film's producers. And if you've already watched my video about Sydney Sweeney, you might have noticed an interesting coincidence. That same year, Sydney also starred in and produced Immaculate. It seems the new generation of Hollywood actresses isn't satisfied with simply appearing on screen anymore. More and more of them want to help create the projects they're starring in. Challengers tells the story of former tennis prodigy Tashi Duncan, who finds herself caught in a complicated love triangle that fuels a rivalry between two professional athletes for years. Zendaya played an ambitious, complicated, and far from perfect character. Her performance received outstanding reviews, and many critics called it one of the strongest performances of her career.
If you don't win tomorrow, I'll leave you. I'm serious. Does that help you?
Yo no sé si es prohibido. Si no tiene
It feels like Zendaya has reached that rare point in her career where everyone wants her. 2026 has already become one of the biggest years of her career. The third season of Euphoria has been released. She starred alongside Robert Pattinson in a romantic drama about a couple whose relationship is pushed to its limits. And even before the movie premiered, fans couldn't stop talking about the chemistry between the two leads. And there's still more to come. A new Spider-Man movie, Dune Messiah, and Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey are all on the horizon. Today, some of the biggest directors in the world want to work with her. Major studios trust her with leading roles, and millions of fans continue to follow every step of her career. Looking back, it's hard to believe that all of this started with a 14-year-old girl auditioning for the role of Rocky Blue. But with that success came another reaction. More and more people online have started saying the same thing. Zendaya is everywhere. In recent years, Hollywood has become increasingly focused on proven stars. For major studios, casting familiar names is one of the safest ways to reduce the risk of big-budget productions. And Zendaya fits that profile perfectly. Throughout her career, she's managed to stay away from major scandals, keep most of her personal life private, build a massive global fanbase, and prove time and time again that her name can bring audiences into theaters. But that leaves one final question. Is Zendaya really that good? Or is Hollywood simply afraid to take the risk?